Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video I'm going to do the Books and Arts tag. I was tagged in a video by Daniela at Uncommon Reader. Daniela created this tag in celebration of her 1 year on BookTube. I was also tagged by Philip at A Poet Reads to Write and Pat at Book Chat with Pat 8668. I repeat what Daniela said about the tag. Welcome to Uncommon Reader. This is a special video to celebrate this channel's 1 year on BookTube. For the occasion, I created an original tag inspired by my love for art. 7 paintings are paired with a prompt inspired by their title. The bonus prompt is for everyone to choose their favorite art piece and create a prompt and book of choice. Have fun. Books and Art tag by at Uncommon Reader. There are 8 prompts, including the bonus prompt. And I am going to include graphics of the paintings, so you can take a look at the paintings. For the first prompt, the painting is Wander Above the Sea of Fog by Caspar David Friedrich, a book that explores solitude. The book for this prompt, I'm going to choose Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Maybe not quite the intent of this prompt, because the protagonist in this book, Piranesi, he's not experiencing solitude by his choice. Circumstances caused him to be there. But he is in what's called a room in the book, but it's really a huge building, stone building, lots and lots of rooms, gigantic building. And he is, maybe I think it was a couple times a week, spends a few hours with another person, but otherwise he's by himself. So he is living in solitude. For the second prompt, the painting is Cherubs by Raphael, a book with supernatural protagonists. For this I'm choosing The Queen of the Dam by Anne Rice. Most of the main characters in the book are vampires. Maybe all, I can't remember for sure, but certainly most of them, so they're supernatural creatures. For the third prompt, the painting is Moscow by Kandinsky, a book set in the future, sci-fi or dystopic. I'm going to choose Prime Meridian by Silvia Moreno Garcia. The book isn't actually set in the future. I figured it was set in around 2018, but the 2018 in the book is technologically a future society from what we are now. And it also is dystopic because it's one of those worlds where technology is advanced but the social aspects have declined. So it really, in my mind, satisfies both of those, dystopic and sci-fi. For the fourth prompt, the painting is A Cradle de Berthe Morisot, a book with a special bond between mother and daughter/son. I'm actually going to choose 2. The first is Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeiffer. In this book, the moon is knocked off its axis, and that causes all kinds of problems in the earth. And this wasn't anticipated, at least not by the general scientific community, but there is a mother, and she's living with her 2 sons, her daughter, and their cat. And she has the foresight when civil society becomes aware that there's going to be issues, she rushes to the supermarket, fights her way to get a bunch of supplies, and brings them back to her house. And that foresight and what she does going along too helps to keep her family alive. And the cat too. Kind of a spoiler, I suppose, but so she obviously has a great bond between herself and her children. I should say I should have said she's a single mother. I don't know. I can't remember whether there was a divorce or what the situation was, or the father died. I can't remember that. But at the time of the book, she's a single mother. And the second one is This Poisoned Heart by Kaylin Bayron. In this case, the protagonist, Breesis, she actually has two moms, and they're very devoted to her, and they kind of have to be because she has these special powers that cause she can control plants, and they also are attracted to her, like physically attracted to her. And so they have to be close because they have to they're kind of protecting one another. For the fifth prompt, the painting is Swing by Renoir. I may not have pronounced that right. A book that reminds you of your childhood. For this, I'm going to choose Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. I'm actually only a little way into the book. I'm a little over 100 pages into it, maybe about 25% of the book. But this book is set in 1964. The narrator, the protagonist, is a 12-year-old boy. He was born in 1952. I was born in 1959, so I wasn't that later growing up than the main character, and he has a tight-knit group of 3 friends. They're not like the cool kids, and when I was in high school, I had a tight-knit group of 5 friends. We weren't really the cool kids either. And and they talk about the kid has a bike, and how much important it is from getting around, and it made me think of the banana seat bike that was my first bike as a kid. So this book, it's basically a horror novel, but it's also touches on the childhood of the main character and his friends. For the sixth prompt, the painting is American Gothic by Grant Wood. A book set in a rural area. For this, I'm choosing The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. This book is mostly set in a summer camp in upstate New York, quite rural. For the seventh prompt, the painting is Self-Portrait of Artemisia Gentileschi, a book with a female protagonist ahead of her time, a pioneer. I believe that in Dracula, Mina Harker was ahead of her time. So she's one that I thought of. And also I thought of Nancy Drew in the many Nancy Drew books, especially the early ones. She's ahead of her time, maybe not so much now, but in the old ones. Matter of fact, I think she was so much ahead of her time that they decided she was too masculine, so they made her more feminine. Be interesting if I could somehow read the original stories. For the eighth prompt, it says bonus. What's your favorite painting or art? Well, I really don't have one. So I just did a search on famous paintings, and the one I decided on, which I was at least, because they're famous, I've seen the famous painting. Well, I'm a bit familiar with them. The one I picked was Girl with a Pearl Earring by Vermeer. And in this painting, the said girl is kind of peering back over her shoulder. It's really hard to read her expression. Doesn't look like she's nervous, doesn't look like she's excited, she's just looking back over her shoulder. To me, she appears enigmatic, so I decided to pick a book with an enigmatic character. The book is Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi, and the character is Indigo. She's just a mysterious character. She's major character of the book, but she doesn't tell her own story. It's told through 2 other characters, so I think that it fits with this painting. And the final thing to do is don't forget to tag other art lovers. Unfortunately, I don't know for sure who are art lovers, but I know a bunch of book lovers. So I'm going to tag a bunch of people. As I've been doing recently, I won't say their screen names, I'll just say their first names, but their screen names will be in the description of this video. And I'm tagging Kelly, John, Nix, Smitty, Kayla, Milena, Maeve, Cliff, Suey, Nick, Heather, Emily, Brian, Fred, Nicole, Gavin, Flossie, Justin, Kevin, Nigel, and Jen. And I'm also tagging anybody who's viewing this video. If you'd like to do it, please do so. Whether a video your own or one or more of the prompts or my comments. I hope you're having a wonderful reading week. I hope you're having a wonderful week in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.